Welcome to Year Endless. I am your host, William Ginsberg, joined by my co host, Courtney Chappell. On Year Endless, we delve into musical and personal history by diving into best of lists from print and online publications through the years. Today, we continue our mini series covering Blender Magazine's 100 Best Indie Rock Albums of All Time from 2007. We start today with number 59, Nine Inch Nails album Pretty Hate Machine from 1989.
Yeah.
Is there any album that feels less like the decade it was made in and not the one that follows it?
Yeah, I just was noticing and realized this is an 80s album. And my mind was just blown by that fact. That
It
is,
feels completely a 90s album.
yes.
They play the big song of this on the 90s station on satellite radio.
Yeah.
Nine Inch Nails, I mean, they became huge starting in the 90s.
There was nothing like them before. I mean, we had we had industrial music, but nothing sounded like this until for better or worse.
So noisy, but also so catchy.
Yeah.
Had like a whole, it might still be their best song.
I think so too.
They have a lot of good songs. I can't always commit to listening to a full album of it. Sometimes it's a little bit much for me.
I never liked it. I wanted to like it, and I never could really listen. And I borrowed it from my friend because I was a kid when it came out. It came out before Nevermind. Let's say that.
And yeah. It came out a few years before. And I'm sure I looked at it, but which month did it actually come out in?
That's a good question.
October of 1989.
Okay.
Late in the year of 89. My cousin was a pretty big fan, had a lot of their albums and their EPs. And I mean, I think Downward Spiral is the one that I think is my favorite. But I think there's at least some good songs on all of the ones I've heard. One thing is the fact that Trent Reznor made it through all of his struggles.
To be happy.
To be happy. I read this article recently in GQ that interviewed Trent. It was really cool that, he's doing so well. The Social Network score for that. And then since then, he scored a lot of different films. I mean, one of his instrumental songs was used for Old Town Road. Did you know that?
I had no idea. No.
There was an album of instrumentals he released, I believe, free on the internet back in the late 2000s. The person who made the beat that Lil Nas X bought used a Nine Inch Nails song.
Wow. See, bad shape at this period of time.
I think more so, I don't know for sure, but I think more so becomes more famous.
Okay.
Do you want to start with the blurb, or do you want to the thing that I heard while listening to Terrible Lie? I don't know what instrument it was. I don't know if it's like the drum machine or some other synth thing. It really reminded me of the Right Stuff by New Kids on the Block. Like there's an instrument there that sounds exactly like it.
It's an interesting connection.
Yeah, it was really weird.
That's my favorite New Kids on the Block song. Slightly more sort of a minor dissonant melody for them. That's interesting, but the instrumentation is kind of similar.
There's one piece of instrumentation that sounds exactly like it.
Wow. I got to go back and listen now.
Yeah, compare The Right Stuff with Terrible Lie. I'll read the blurb. It's one of the, oh, really? Did you really write this kind of blurb? The national anthems of industrial music. If you abuse mascara and or cut yourself, you're legally obligated to own this record. The first album by Trent Reznor, its gunpoint coupling of new wave and raw noise became a mission statement for all subsequent industrial rock.
Mm-hmm. All subsequent.
Yeah, there's definitely no Marilyn Manson without Trent Reznor, that's for sure. Rock in the late 90s. I'm thinking of the Orgy's cover of Blue Monday. I mean, that definitely wouldn't exist. I don't know. It wouldn't be a loss if it didn't exist necessarily, but it definitely wouldn't. Is there anything we else want to say about Nine Inch Nails before we move on?
There is. Okay. What is the cover that they did for the Crow soundtrack?
Let me look.
Okay, it's a Joy. I got it.
Oh, they cover Joy Division?
Yes. So I would like to say that Dead Souls, the cover of Dead Souls, is one of my favorite covers. That was a Nine Inch Nail cover. Mm-hmm. It came out in '94, but it was on the Crow soundtrack. I just wanted to say that because it's good.
That's good to know.
And it connects them kind of to Joy Division, that sort of mechanized, very cold sounding. I don't know a lot about Trent Reznor, but I can imagine that he was a huge Joy Division fan.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's not the only band that was influenced by Joy Division that's going to be.
No, that's true. Everyone was.
Yeah, number 58 is the album There's Nothing Wrong with Love by Built to Spill, released in 1994. I'm a big fan of Built to Spill, particularly their 90s albums. This is not the first I listened to, but this one I also like a lot. My favorite is the one after this, Perfect From Now On. That's my favorite. I don't know what other bands are from Idaho. I
No,
mean, I would assume that Bill's the best Idaho band. Doug Marsh isn't the best singer. I
not.
think it worked for the band. There's a lot of Neil Young in his singing, I'd say.
Yes, exactly. There is a Neil Young kind of thing happening because it's hard to describe. It's just rock. It's stripped down. Yes, and like Neil Young, if I may say, because I was just talking to Shane about this, not the strongest singing, but unique. It carries a certain gravitas. And I would like to listen to Built to Spill more. I've always liked what
Mhm.
I've heard, but don't know them.
Mhm.
But that's a band you really like.
Yeah.
Then that makes
Uh,
me want to listen to it more because of
yeah.
does it take?
And I mean, I saw them live back in like 2016. I don't remember if that was one of return like one of the earlier lineups, like a
They're still
reunion.
active.
I know they still active. I mean, it's sometimes Doug Marsh and then like a new group. It might be a smaller group, might be bigger. It's sort of variable in how many are in the band at a time. There's definitely longer periods between releases now. They aren't releasing every 2 years these days. I'll read the blurb. Idaho freaking rocks. Frontmen don't come much more unassuming than Doug Marsh. A balding nostalgic with a quivering Neil Young falsetto. But he wields his guitar like a flamethrower, enlivening tales of lovelorn teenagerdom, getting baked, making out, and staring at the stars. I think that's a mentioning of the staring at the stars. Of there's definitely more things of thinking about existence and thinking about being on this little dot in
Yeah.
the grand scheme of the universe. But yeah, so I saw them in 2016. They two openers. Not only are all the openers good, but also there were people who were there for each one of them. Like,
Ooh.
there are people who just came for them. So
Huh.
like,
You remember them?
yeah, yeah, no, yeah. It was Alex G was the first opener, and then it was the band Hop Along. That's a great 2010s female fronted indie rock band. It was really fun. I was able to get a pretty close. I mean, I'm sure I had pictures on my phone from near the end of the end of the set. That was at the Orange Peel
Yeah, they used to come to Asheville a lot, I remember.
because I think the more recent time I think is that they were maybe at the Grey Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we'll move to another band from the 90s, very different than Built to Spell. That is Bikini Kill, the 1993 album Pussy Whip.
Yeah, this was a
Yes.
big deal
Yeah,
for
was,
my life.
yeah.
We all
Mm-hmm.
started making zines. I'm actually making a zine for my kid while we record this podcast because they want to, with their favorite music and stuff. It changed the landscape of my life and the trajectory. I became a women's studies major. I love Kathleen Hanna. I love her relationship with Ad Rock, and I love what she did for the world. And I love Latigra, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't love this album in a way from a musical standpoint.
I re-listened to this a couple weeks ago,
Did you?
preparing. The first time I just sort of bounced off of it. I was like, I don't really like this. Time I listened to it while driving, and I was thinking how much it reminded me more of some like hardcore punk compared to punk rock. It reminded me of the band Born Against. It reminded me of Born Against. The music of it sort of, and like the vocals are like lower in the mix. So I liked it more this time. I also last night listened to their demo actually, because that was originally only on cassette and it was released maybe like 10 years ago or something. I think I might have liked the demo more. We listened to Pussy Whipped again to make sure. Definitely the vocal, I mean, her vocals reminded
Vocals are
me,
phenomenal.
it reminded me of Screamy Females.
Oh yeah.
There
Huh.
was definitely some of that roar to it that was like,
Just full throated, and everyone should watch The Punk Singer. It's a great documentary about Kathleen.
mhm.
You've seen it, right?
I don't think so.
You should definitely see it. It's a great movie.
Okay. You said the punk singer?
Punk Singer, yep.
Okay, that's I was seeing some like it kind of looked like that on the YouTube Music where I was listening. Yeah, that sounds like this sounds worth watching. I'll report back. Now we're in for a little bit of another sexist.
Oh,
Or the original Riot Girl, cute when they're angry.
oh God, I less and less am I
Yeah,
liking these writers. They feel like
yeah,
they're different voices though that are
yeah.
writing.
I mean, I don't know which one they have.
Who's the jerk in the?
Yeah. Continuing with it, for a moment in the early '90s, punk rock feminism was everywhere. And Kathleen Hanna and Toby Vale's furious, blazing band was its figurehead. Their first full-length album is pissed off, funny, touching, and very loud.
Okay.
The trying to be the first sentence, yeah, definitely is. Because I mean, the second half seems all to be definitely undercut the rest of it.
Mhm.
So, what song do you think we'd first? You think we should include on the playlist?
I think Rebel Girl. We got to do Rebel Girl, the most widely known.
Yeah,
In case you haven't heard, in case there's like a 12-year-old listening. Feel good about themselves. I played it for my daughter though, and she was, I don't really like this, mom, but she loved Tigre, so that's fun.
Yeah. So the demo and this one, our production is very raw. It's not the would underproduce be the word? I don't know.
Yeah, the production, it's so lo-fi. And I don't know the story of the production, but it is in a way, I felt like maybe even when I was younger, if like that was kind of the problem with it. There was not a lot of creative decisions happening. I felt like the guitar is really high in the mix in a weird way, and it's very
Mhm.
trebly. There's a little production critiques I have, but that's not very punk rock of me. So I'm not.
Yeah. To the demo, Revolution Girl Style Now. And then I still need to listen to Reject All American to see if I can give my full rundown of their discography. If there's anything else you want to
No, just very culturally significant. Help me to feel better about myself. Help me to feel comfortable at hard rock shows and just legitimize having a vagina, basically, is how I feel about this band. I'm really
Mhm.
grateful they existed.
Number 56 on this list is Archers of Loaf with their 1993 album Icky Metal.
Yes. I learned about them when I was hanging out at Vincent's Ear, which is a club in Asheville, North Carolina. And this band started playing. And I was like, this band rules. Who is this? And they were like, this is Archers of Love. And they seem to have a real fan base, but they were also really like, approachable. Are they from North Carolina? I don't know.
Yeah, they're from Chapel Hill.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, what do you think about Archers of Love? I'm really curious.
I had heard about them long before I actually finally listened to them, and I actually found this album at the youth area of one of the record stores. It's really good. It is very indie rock. I think this is one of the most indie rock albums we've had on this list so far. This is actually not like a precursor to indie rock or anything. This is definitely 90s indie rock. This is clearly what it is.
Yes.
Oh wow! According to Wikipedia, lead singer Eric Bachman, the album was recorded and mixed in 7 days. We spent like $5,000 to make it. It sounds better than $5,000, I will say.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
it actually. Yeah, I'm not sure which my favorite song was of this. I mean, maybe just the first song. It's quite good, Web in Front. But I now definitely want to go back and continue listening to their discography. And I believe Eric Bach. Yeah, he also is also the frontman of Crooked Fingers,
Oh,
another indie band from North Carolina. He was a student at Appalachian State,
okay.
born in Greensboro, North Carolina. According to this, he lives in Athens.
Yeah, there's a connection here. And I feel like again, I'm always talking about Shane. I feel like he knows someone in the band and that yeah, they live
Yeah.
here. They do because I've been hearing about them a lot lately, but I don't really listen to anything anyone says anymore because I'm a parent and I don't have but he's talked about
Yeah. Other albums he's appeared on. That's cool. Yeah, there's a lot. This is definitely an impressive discography. Yeah, I'll read the blurb. Southern boys spitting mad about other people's trust funds. Indie rockers love complaining about indie rock. These North Carolinians did it with unwarranted urgency, delivering bow shots at the jaded scene and air-punching basement anthems.
hmm,
I will say the name is pretty stupid. Not a great name. The loaf part of the name is kind of sucks. Great band. Another giant switch in sound is number 55, Bad Brains, with their album Bad Brains from 1982. But
yes, I
yeah,
was just in DC and there was a lightning storm and we were on the mall and I was really hoping that lightning would strike the Capitol because that's the cover of that's their emblem.
yeah,
Bad Brains. Yes.
one of the best hardcore punk bands, one of the best, like whatever genre they would experiment with. I mostly stuck with the hardcore punks. They were before everything. They were a jazz fusion band, but then they got into punk and they got into Rastafarianism. And they originally, yeah, were playing DC. They may or may not have been actually banned in DC. Um,
Okay.
so I was looking through information on the band, and one of the members, I don't remember his name off the top of my head, claimed that it was sort of there was a venue they couldn't play at,
Uh,
but they could have played other places, but they did end up moving to New York City. They may not have actually been banned. Because the reason I was looking at it because I had heard about this incident involving Bad Brains back in the 80s. I don't know if you had heard about this.
no.
They were incredibly homophobic.
Oh,
Last week had a band that used homophobic language. They were actually "you'll burn in hell" kind of homophobic.
wow.
And there was an incident between them and members of this Texas band being fairly openly gay. There's definitely he said, she said kind of situation. Yeah, it was an incident in Austin back in the early 80s. These songs still are really cool.
Yes.
Particularly the Vanity Sea is a great song. Fearless Vampire Killers, Pay to Come is great. It's a really good music.
This
I
isn't.
think because I think only one of their songs, like a later song by them, is very homophobic. Some of the members have apologized, sort of like grown and moved past those opinions.
Yeah.
It definitely is a mark against that they not only held those beliefs, but they actually said horrendous stuff too and mistreated because like they were going to be staying at this in like someone in this scene's house. They were very disrespectful and very very shitty. I'll read the blurb before we move on.
Okay.
Decimating the punk rock color line. These monstrously skilled reformed jazz fusionists couldn't get work in their native DC, being a black band that sounded like the Sex Pistols, but faster and with reggae. So they decamped to New York and made the spike collar competition look like yapping poodles. They're a black band,
That's
and then
yeah.
very hardcore punk is very white.
Yeah. And Shane just ordered a Bad Brain shirt the other day.
One of my friends from college did see them live, like in the early 2010s.
Oh wow! Like a reunion.
Yeah, because I think there's been like shifting lineups over the years. Periods where there are like very few original members, and there's periods where like it's mostly original. The last couple of years, a couple of the original members have died. So.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to say about Bad Brains?
No, I'm just taking in what you're saying, and there was a doc. Was there a documentary about them?
Yeah, there was. I haven't seen it. Apparently, it doesn't really go into much on that about that incident.
Right. Yeah, because I saw it, and I don't remember the documentary actually.
Look up the lyrics of the song that is. Oh yeah, this is.
Pretty bad.
Don't blow no bubbles, and we can stop the AIDS. Don't blow no spikes. Don't blow no fudge buns. Ask Ja, and he'll make the change.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
So it was during.
Oh, apparently, blow bubbles was a slang for being gay.
Oh. Okay.
Some of them have apologized, some haven't for those awful beliefs. Yeah, moving on. It is a band I've never heard of before until now.
Yeah.
The band Unrest.
For a second, I looked down and saw the following one.
That one would be a lot harder to not have heard. Take the music stations and stuff I listen to, and yeah, I would. That's not played.
No. But this band, I have heard of them, and I think I had their somebody dubbed a cassette for me. I must not have liked it. I did not listen to it. Have you listened to it?
I listened to it last night to prepare for this. I liked it pretty well. It says they're from the US, but I was so sure that they were British, and it sounded very British. Was good. Okay. This is Unrest with their 1992 album Imperial FFRR. I don't know how much I'm stuck with me necessarily, but jangly songs about sex with a highbrow edge. Mark Robinson's Teen Beat label, whose flagship band was this constantly touring trio, brought a designer's consciousness to indie pop. High concept, witty, occasionally arch, and equally fond of both dense detail and negative space. Their most radiant album is divided between exuberant, sex-obsessed, battering strum, and dreamy near ambient meditations.
Okay.
I think the song for the thing is probably Cherry Cream On. I think this might be the last band list that I had not previously heard of. Number 53 on this list is the debut album from one of the biggest bands of the 90s, Smashing Pumpkins, with their album Gish from 1991.
Will, what do you think of Smashing Pumpkins? We got to talk about it.
At points in my life, I've really loved them. There's points where I've been annoyed by them.
Yeah.
Currently, I would say there's definitely stuff I still like. Some of the albums I don't think I'm ever going to listen to in full ever again.
Right. Like, which ones? Can I ask which ones?
So, Melancholy Infinite Sadness is way too long.
It's long and sad.
Yeah, it's double album. It's really, really long. I mean, double album in the 90s. So it's like super. How long is that one? It's very, very long.
It's a double.
Yeah,
it's a double album.
No. Melancholy. Yeah, I think one side's Melancholy, and the other might be Infinite Sadness. We'll see.
It reminds me of Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion. When it came out, it was that kind of hyped, very long thing.
I mean, because Siamese Dream had been so successful. Gish was a big hit for an independent release, but did not sell anywhere as many copies as Siamese Dream.
Yeah, and I hope this is the only time we see them on this list, but I wonder.
I think so. I think this still makes it more indie rock.
Right. I don't hate them. I understand. I like some of their songs, and I understand why people like them. But
yeah, I own Siamese Dream on CD. I may or may not have bought them again. Bought so many like new CDs from the years. I did listen to it a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I liked it pretty well.
Yeah.
Very influential band. Some really good singles. Some really good music. It's basically Billy Corgan. There's other members.
I know they
He's
would hate to
definitely
hear
kind
you
of
say
like
that too. A lot of attention and a lot of
bad feelings. Yeah,
bad
between
feelings. Yes.
years. Like Billy Corgan has gotten into a lot of different ventures and also had his certain of his opinions more widely.
Yes.
He owns a wrestling promotion. He bought a wrestling promotion. He owned that for a while.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, I think
huh.
like the mid 2010s. Time I knew about them, seen him bald. So it was only more recently that I saw like the earlier songs where he actually has some hairstyle. Um,
Right.
I think of him more as completely bald Billy Corgan.
Oh, when
Yeah, when I see the videos, they have good. They look like you'd expect them to look. It's
yeah,
very much. The looks of the videos definitely are like artistic kind of
mhm,
videos.
totally.
They fit the band.
Yeah.
All right, the blurb. Grunge's Prince of Pain before we got too poety. While his Gen X contemporaries were down in their basements whining about their dads, Billy Corgan was dreaming of filling stadiums. The Pumpkins' debut, helmed by super producer to be Butch Vig, was arty and subconsciously epic. 6-minute guitar jams, Eastern metaphysics, subtitles in Italian. It's sweeping, exquisite melancholy, minus all the heroin.
Yeah.
Butch Vig did a good job with it's early in his career. I've heard the name, and I know that he's a member of Garbage. Trying to think of
Oh,
remember all the stuff that Butch Vig has produced over the years.
huh.
Oh, yeah, that's really early stuff. Oh, he produced Dirty.
Uh,
He produced a couple of like youth albums. He also produced Siamese Dream. He produced L7 for L7.
oh,
Oh yeah, he produced Nevermind.
oh.
He produced a later period Depeche Mode album for
Which
Garbage
one?
for AFL.
Violin?
No, post that. Like he produced In Your Room,
Okay. I guess I consider Violator like the last one, but it's not.
BF94. So yeah, like post. Oh yeah, he produced some stuff for the punk band AFI, for Foo Fight Against Me. He's produced a lot of cool stuff
Yeah.
over all these years. I'm glad I looked into that because I've seen the name plenty of times, but I never find out what all he produced. That's the Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think I've been on this list again. I have more to say at some point.
Yeah.
Not now. But,
They're not, this isn't the last time we're gonna hear about them.
yeah, at some point, yeah, they're a big deal. But yeah, number 52 is the album Lifted or The Stories in the Soil, Keep Your Ear to the Ground by the band Bright Eyes from 2002, released in Saddle Creek.
I cannot
Yeah,
wait to hear what you think about Bright Eyes.
so I'm definitely a big fan.
That's what I thought. We talked about him before, but I
We might have,
love
yeah.
the sound of his name. I always thought this is
Connor
a
Oberst,
really
yeah.
cool guy. Yeah.
Started very young. He started as a teenager. My college roommate introduced me to Bright Eyes.
Okay.
More to their album after this. I'm wide awake. It's morning. It was only more recent that I actually listened to this. I definitely prefer I'm wide awake. It's morning to this one. I think there's a lot of epicness to this album. By epic, I sometimes mean some of the songs are a little longer than I would like. Yeah, I've definitely been impressed by Connor Oberst. His lyrics are amazing.
Yeah.
His voice definitely has some of the strained sound to it that really works for the music. But yeah, I mean, he's one of the most influential indie musicians like of the last definitely during like the 2010s. It really a lot of the female singer-songwriters, the indie musicians are really influenced by him.
Yeah.
And Julian Baker and like Phoebe Bridgers. I mean, it's definitely Oberst and Bridgers actually they did an album together. A couple like
Oh,
that kind of poetic. Brian has a little bit more rocking parts than some of his other do. It's not that the music isn't great, it's just definitely there's the points in like Friday songs, some of them where it will start revving up and break down, get noisier.
you've seen him?
Yeah, I've seen Connor Oberst at like a music festival.
Yeah.
I saw Bright Eyes. Actually, Bright Eyes was the first concert I saw after the pandemic, like after they started having concerts again.
Oh, I didn't realize.
It was an outdoor concert in Asheville. I
Oh,
can't remember
really?
what it's called. Something rabbit or something like that. Now I think it's like Asheville Yards, I believe.
Okay.
But yeah, I saw them. It opened. Lucy Dacus opened for them. Yeah, it was a good show. It was
Okay.
a good one to like get back into seeing live music again.
Yeah.
Outdoors. I got a good performance. I do know there's times where there's like bad performances.
Of Bright Eyes, they do bad performances sometimes.
Connor, sometimes there's ones where it's gone bad.
Okay. Do you know
Like,
about
I
the
don't know.
allegations?
Yeah, no, I do know about that. I do know that ended up being
I don't know much about it. I just remember looking into
I
him.
just know that it was not true.
Okay, that's right.
That like it was retracted. So yeah, it was one of like those like few cases where it was not brought politics into it intelligently.
Right, and not being
Where it
heavy-handed.
didn't feel like it was just slogans or stuff like that. It felt like he was actually thinking deeply about it. Great musician. Ton of other bands that not just Bright Eyes. I was looking up Saddle Creek, all the different bands that have albums released on there, because I knew that The Faint was on there. Have you ever heard The Faint?
The what?
It was a band started in the late '90s and early 2000s. It's
Called what?
very The Faint.
The Faint. Okay, that sounds familiar.
It's like really new wave. I think it's
Oh,
influenced by Depeche Mode.
oh, but it's newer.
Really, yeah. Well, newer of then. It's not from the '80s, but yeah, it's like I guess like 20 years old now.
Yes.
That's a band that my cousin introduced me to.
Okay. So I remember
Yeah.
there was all this music that sounded like music I had liked a long time ago, and I was so happy.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about that some with the LCD sound system kind of revival.
Yeah, I think it's like an earlier part of that revival. Yeah, I'll read the blurb. Child prodigy comes of age, launches 100,000 collegiate crushes. Omaha, Nebraska's poet laureate of youthful disaffection, Conor Oberst was 22 when he made this set, which defined not just his own Baroque emo folk, but the whole arty retro aesthetic of the Omaha scene, nearly all of the members of which played on this record.
Omaha,
We had Idaho before, but now we have Nebraska bands.
Nebraska.
Speaking of bands that sound like stuff that from like 20 years before them, is number 51 on this list, Interpol with their debut album, Turn on the Bright Lights from 2002. That's another, yeah, we're definitely a set of ones that my cousin introduced me to.
Right.
I started listening to Interpol pretty close. I mean, not when this album, I think closer to when their second album was released. I'm a fan. I think for some, the opinion has shifted as being not, this is like not as, like originally it was like, oh, this is amazing. And I think the opinion, at least for a while there, was like lower on it. During the pandemic, there was this smart TV channel that showed concerts, and there was one they showed from Interpol. And well, listen to it, I realized how much I do like the music. It's very influenced by Joy Division. Paul Banks, the singer, it sounds so close to Ian Curtis. The music is very post-punk. Lyrics, I can see people, okay, this lyrics is kind of silly. Overall, I think it works for me still. I was listening to it this morning, and I still like it, and I still like the album Memphis Antics. I haven't really dug into some of the later ones. But yeah, very an important part of the New York indie scene. I'll read the blurb. Because depressives need dance parties too. If you're going to spend an album licking wounds, at least play really fast. That's the lesson of this New York foursomes debut, in which gloomy Paul Banks broods about slit throats and masochistic romances. There are a few lullabies, but the band mostly hits the ground running with interlocking riffs and giddy-up grooves. At the time, did you hear about Interpol, Courtney?
I did, but I didn't get it. I didn't understand. But the description now sounds like it's exactly what I like. It's like if you're gonna be sad, let's dance, not.
Yeah, it definitely has that like post-punk sense of rhythm to it. That if you had like a sad dance party, you could definitely.
See, I like that.
So I definitely want to, because I definitely read 20-year retrospective. I do want to learn about the making of it, because I think it turned out really well, and I think it does hold up.
Yeah.
And we're staying closer to that era, but a very different sounding band.
Yeah.
That is the final album for this episode. Rilo Kiley with their 2004 album More Adventurous.
And I feel bad because I don't know them, nor did I listen.
So I love this album.
Okay.
In particular, I got way more into this album in like late last year into this year.
Okay.
I think it rocks really hard. I think the lyrics are great. I think Jenny Lewis, the singer, I think her voice is amazing.
Yeah.
I listen to it mostly on CD in my car. Like for periods, I'll just listen to only that.
Okay.
So they reunited like this year. They're touring this year.
Oh.
So like I think because I'd like to, not close enough and not on my price range really.
Okay.
She's been a successful solo artist as well. I missed a chance to see her because she played at that festival I went to in 2014, but it was opposite the Replacements. So I wasn't that familiar with music at the time, and it was the Replacements. This is like a once in a that's like the only chance I'm ever going to see the Replacements.
Absolutely.
I wish I could have seen both. Okay, so which song do I want to play? Because I really don't necessarily know all the names, because I mean that's the issue with older CDs where it doesn't tell you what song.
Oh right.
Okay, I mean, so I'd recommend. I'll play the one that has the most plays, I guess. A portion for foxes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there's definitely some of their like story songs. Yeah, there's a retroness to
Yes.
her singing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there is a retro. It is kind of like a modern folk, strong lyrics.
I think there's some of the like 60s kind of like to
Mm-hmm.
the 60s 70s to it. The singer Jenny Lewis, she was a child actress. She
Oh,
was before she got like later on got into music. Yeah, I'll read the blurb. Hollywood kids kiss with their teeth. Ex-actress Jenny Lewis found her finest role yet. Stone indie fox, comprising bittersweet torch songs, sexy protest songs, and just plain come fuck me songs. Her band's third album presented Lewis as a honey voiced, poison tongued alpha girl.
kind of reminds me of the other person who was in the Lemonheads, and just kind of those. There's something
Oh,
slightly old school about it. Yeah, who am I talking about?
yeah. I was reading some stuff for her recently. Wait, I'll look it up Lemonheads real quick. I think it's Juliana Hatfield.
That's it. There you go.
Yeah, I definitely see some of that in there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, because actually I'm thinking also some 70s sort of adjacent to Fleetwood Mac.
You know, I was going to say that. I was about to say there's something that kind of pouty, husky, and kind of high pitched voice. I was totally going to say Stevie Nicks, but I was like, you know what, Courtney, you're just too obsessed with that right now.
Oh, yeah, no, so I definitely,
I'm glad you said
yeah,
that too.
I strongly recommend to any of our listeners.
That's cool to learn about this person.
I'm looking at how many of the instrumentation that she did.
Multi-instrumentalist.
Yeah, she also played some of the electric guitar, keyboards, piano, electric piano, organ, mellotron, harmonica. It's a four-piece band. Yeah, there's a lot of instruments. Ones that I'm not entirely sure what they are. We can cut this, but like, how does a timpani sound? I don't actually.
Oh, okay. I would like to know what that is.
Quick aside.
It's worth it.
It's a type of drum.
Okay.
They're also called kettle drums.
Oh, right. Those big orchestra. They look like giant.
Yeah, it's the giant drums. Yeah, okay. That definitely, they look really cool. I don't know if I remember hearing those in the album. Listen for the timpani.
Yes. And then the subject matter also sounds kind of Stevie Nicks too.
There's definitely like
songs, but the political stuff's interesting. I don't know.
The opening track, "It's a Hit," is definitely the most political. I'll play it. That's how the album starts. Listening to this on long drive.
Yes.
Over and over again. I think that's it for today, I guess.
Well, join us next time for numbers 49. Can't wait to see you then.
Bye.
Bye.
You can reach us at yearendlesspodcast@gmail.com. All music is courtesy of Shane Parrish. Until next time, for my co-host Courtney, I'm William, signing off from the Tar Heel State.